Hi everyone, this is Cheryl Brumbaugh-Duncan, and we're continuing on with building our first page or index page for our website on Lake Powell. Just to show you, I've already cropped the images out or sliced the images out of Photoshop, and I've added them to my local root directory, which is Lake Powell Class 9, in the images directory, and named them appropriately of Lake Powell banner, houseboat, jet ski, and rocks. And to take a quick look at these graphics that I sliced out of Photoshop, here they are. Oops, let me go back to the Finder. There they are. And if I click, you'll see that they're showing those various images, which is great. Now, if I go back to Dreamweaver, you'll see I have a blank HTML page with the title tag set to Lake Powell. And now I'll go ahead and insert my first image. And I'm going to do that through a div tag. So I'll first insert the layout object of a div tag. And notice that it's going to insert right here in the body, and remember the body tag contains everything that's visible to the visitor in a browser, and that's where our div tag will go, and in the design view it's going to show it right up here. I want it to be at insertion point. I'll say new CSS rule. I like using IDs as my selector type for my CSS rule for div tags because it applies a name directly to the div tag. You could also use class, but I've gotten into the habit of ID, and that's what I like to work with. So anyhow, I'll go ahead and name this my banner for my div tag. And I immediately want it to go to an external style sheet. Again, I'd like to see you all using external style sheets for your websites. No internal style sheets, but an external, and you set it up by choosing New Style Sheet File when you're at the New CSS Rules dialog box. I'll say OK. That will open up the Save Style Sheet As. I'm going to call this my Lake Powell or actually I'll just do .css. I'll leave it blank. Just my Lake Powell. Goodness, I can't type today. There we go. And I'm going to save it in the first level of my local root directory. I'll go ahead and choose Save. That will open up the CSS Rules Definition dialog box. Here's my new Lake Powell CSS style sheet. And because I've cropped my images out of Photoshop, I know what those dimensions are, the physical size of them. And again, in web design, always try to insert your images set to the exact physical size that you need for your design. Well, I know that the width of my banner is 960 pixels across and the height is 228 pixels. I can also set a background color for this div tag, and that appears prior to your image being pulled into the div tag. So sometimes it's kind of nice for the visitor to see things happening instead of a white screen. So I'll go ahead and set that using the color of red of my design, and that is a shorthand version of the hexadecimal number of A00, which is actually, again, it's shorthand for the following number, AA0000. But to use shorthand, it truncates that to the first digit of each of these repeating digits that we have. So this would actually be A00. And when I tab away, you'll see that it's this dark red. I'll say OK to this. There's my banner. I'll double check myself. Say OK again. And now I'll go ahead and pull in my image. So I'll delete this default text that's automatically put in by Dreamweaver into a new div tag and come up here to my Insert menu. And I want to insert an image. So I'll choose Insert Image. And the image I want is the Lake Powell banner. I'll say open. Always give your images alternate text. And this one I'm going to call Lake Powell banner. And just a tip, it's a good idea to use keywords that you would like a search engine to find your website with for SEO or search engine optimization within your alternate text as well as your title text. And you can see on this index page I have Lake Powell as my title text. And that's one of my keywords is Lake Powell. I'd like people to be able to find my site by typing Lake Powell into a browser. By including title text and alternate text, you're making your web page accessible as well, which is a law for any public organization or government organization that your site has to be accessible. Some of you have been losing some points on your assignments and projects by not including accessibility attributes in your alternate text for images and your title tag for your web page. I'll say OK to that, and that will pull in my image. Everything looks pretty good.